Hallo liebes Internet, ich bin's nochmal, der, ich sag mal, Blogger Gunnar Sohn. Ja, wir läuten das große Finale der zweitägigen Next Economy Open ein, denn traditionell gestaltet ja die Hochschule Fresenius immer den zweiten Tag der Next Economy Open und das ist auch in diesem Jahr wieder so und wird auch im nächsten Jahr wieder so sein, ne, Lutz, das haben wir uns ja vorgenommen und jetzt ist eine internationale Session, geht um Team Learning und da wird uns jetzt gleich der Lutz aufklären.
Okay, ich werde aber dann ins Englische übergehen. Switchen, yeah, genau. Hello and welcome to our Next Economy Open conference in 2021. And so we have a long cooperation. I think I was the first time I was in Fredrikstad is about 10 years ago or something like that. This is my favorite university outside Germany, and it's a beautiful place there, and it's close to the river and close to the football stadium. It's a really great place to stay and to be, and it's really a beautiful town, and the area around is very beautiful. You've taken me to the woods one day, and this was absolutely fantastic. And today, for the third time, by the way, hello, Frode. For the first time, we have our guests from University, Ostfold University. In Fredrikstad and in Halden, yeah, but you are located in Fredrikstad. And Gunnar Andersen, just would you like to introduce your university and your group and your program? You're muted.
Yes, it's a small regional university college in Fredrikstad. We are primarily health, engineering, and innovation. And these students that will present later is from the study program that's called Innovation and Project Management. It's a very operational program. And I think the students' project and research will illustrate that. Yes. Thanks.
Okay, so we welcome Johanna, Henny, and Stine. And I think Henny will share the screen now and will introduce us to your project.
Yes, thank you. Ich wollte Ihnen einen guten Nachmittag erstmal wünschen und sagen, dass wir uns sehr freuen, hier zu sein und dass wir teilnehmen könnten. Wir freuen uns sehr, unsere Forschungsergebnisse mit Ihnen zu teilen. Und ich wollte nur mal danken, dass Sie für uns die Zeit reserviert haben. Und wir fühlen uns sehr geehrt, teilnehmen zu können. So, danke sehr.
Es ist sehr schön für uns und wir freuen uns immer, wenn unsere norwegischen Freunde hier sind bei uns.
And as you can hear, Henny has lived many years in Hamburg, and I am also born in Hamburg. But we will continue in English, I think.
Okay.
And today we will be presenting the laboratory green mission, which is used for field research on team building and team roles in practice. And here is the science team. Henny has been the boss and project manager, and she has been responsible for handling the stakeholders and communication with partners. And Johanna has been the second project manager in case Henny has been unavailable. And then there is me, which I have been the secretary and kept track of documents and reporting. So the Green Mission is an operational project where all students at Innovation and Project Management participate from Østfold University College. Innovation and Project Management is a bachelor that focuses on operational leadership and problem solving. And the majority of our courses are based on teamwork. The Green Mission project takes place over 3 days in the forest called Børtevann, near the city of Sarpsborg, which is approximately 30 minutes from the University College. And everyone can note that you don't have internet or phone coverage out there. The project is set up with a total of 8 bases that 8 teams will visit during the 3 days. And the bases are equally divided between hard and soft, based on the degree of difficulty and how demanding the activities are, in which many of the bases chose to conduct a military format for the hard ones. And the difference between hard and soft bases is a new introduction that will be of particular interest to the research team to see if there is a difference in how team members behave when they are in challenging situations. So to the internal project progress, our internal project process started with preparations. And during the preparations, IPL21 conducted the Belbin team inventory test. In this phase, many partners and many tools are needed. And our biggest focus here was to create a broad collaboration with all stakeholders and participants. And the goal is to research whether or not team members differ from the result from the Belbin test in challenging situations. And the underlying question is to answer whether it is through challenging situations that the right Belbin roles emerge. And Green Mission is our laboratory during the project, which Henny will describe the setup through 4 phases. And the goal of the research project is to answer 3 key questions, which we will see here. The first one is whether there are discrepancies between how team members behave in challenging situations compared to the result from the Belbin inventory test. We question whether Belbin has managed to define team roles that actually play out in the team's practice, or whether they are redundant due to the fact that 9 roles are quite many in a team. And Belbin's research program started as early as 1969, and we question if it's still relevant today. So, did we skip one slide there, Henny?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. The method is the Belbin's team inventory test for mapping the different roles for the participants. So first, the team members conduct the behavior test in a classroom, and then they are observed in the laboratory Green Mission. And in the laboratory, we use tools such as forms for completion and observations to collect quantitative data about team members' behavior through 3 days. And the method and the research laboratory are geographically independent, which means that this is a method that can be used wherever one can find it appropriate.
So, to the laboratory setup. We divided the laboratory setup into 4 phases. And as Stine mentioned, we used the first phase to establish collaborations. And for us, it was really important to collaborate with the second grade because they would be our eyes and ears out in the field. And of course, we developed tools they could use. In the second phase, we went into the forest, into the field to collect our own data. But not only to collect data, we wanted to be present and show our support and not the least our gratitude for the people collaborating with us. So we packed some cookies and some chocolate and divided them out on the bases and teams to show the appreciation, which I think was very appreciated by them. The third phase is, of course, the data analysis, where we had to stick our nose into all the data we had, collect them, and try to figure out how to find the data we needed to answer the key questions. And I think we sat with it like 2 or 3 months and went over and over again. And then finally, we are in the 4th phase where we can present the data. And we have already delivered our report. And now we are presenting this to you. Oh, this went a little bit fast, sorry. The laboratory, of course, the Green Mission, it is set up with 8 bases, 8 teams, 8 team leaders, and 8 base managers. The teams are the ones who moves from base to base, on land and in water. And they're using the team leader from the 2nd grade with a map and a compass so they don't get lost. I can share with you that some of the team leaders wanted them to get lost, and they did. So after they had gone a little bit off track, they would help them back on track, which is funny. And the bases, of course, they have different teams and facilitated tasks, as Stine told you earlier. But they were also there to ensure that there is a seating and possibility of dining, and of course space for the tent setup, because they obviously had to spend the night at the bases. But I thought instead of talking about the Green Mission, we could watch a video from one of the teams so you can see it in action. Just let me know if I'm still sharing. Can you see the video? Can you hear the sound? Yeah.
Muted.
The sound is missing.
I think you need to give me access to share sound.
I think you have to do it. You have to close the presentation. And when you log in to the presentation again, there are two, you have to click twice. There are two click buttons at the bottom left. When you share again, you see there are two click buttons, sound, something like.
I don't see any click buttons. Video, settings, maybe settings.
So I think I allowed it. Let me have a look. Yeah. So here it should be available.
Shall we try?
No.
No.
If you close the presentation, yes, and now you start the presentation, and then you get a screen, a smaller screen, and then you have two click buttons on the left. Can you see them?
I don't see any two click buttons on the left. I'm sorry. Is it easier if I send you the link?
Checkboxes. Yeah, you could also send me the link. That's no problem.
I think that's done easier.
Yeah.
Because it should say share sound, and then you can hook that on.
Yeah, it's not the click button, it's a hook, yeah.
I don't see it, I'm sorry.
But I could hear the sound, but really low.
Really?
So yeah, this is from your screen, yeah. This is the speaker, what you hear.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, now
just send me the link, then I will try to share it here.
I send it in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the...
No problem at all. Yeah, that looks great. So I shared this one. Sound. Okay. I have to stop again, sorry. I have to, there it is. Okay, and now from the beginning, and now it should.
Spikre et lag et vanskelig fag, men vi jobbet hver dag, og vi dro det i land.
Og Herman som har hovedansvar, og at det deres stemme som veier tyngst. Men vær åpen for innspill.
microphone. Okay.
Hva skjedde, Henning?
Ja, det som skjedde var at jeg dreit meg ut og tok med hele laget 300 meter i en retning vi ikke skulle gått.
Okay.
Hope that shows a little bit better how the green mission is, especially for the teams. And this makes me actually very proud to see how happy they are, even we put them in really stressful situations.
I remember that I've been sitting on the rock by the lake. Am I right?
You have?
Okay. Yes.
Nice.
And then now I'm going to talk about our tools. First class used the Belbin team inventory test as a tool, as it forms the basis for observation and research of operational team building in practice. First class were divided into teams according to their Belbin roles. In the laboratory, we used the tools in the form of matrices and observations. It was used to collect quantitative data. Henny, Stine, and I walked around in the forest and observed. We also had one person at each base who observed, and as well as the team leader of the teams observed their teams. The bases were among our most important tools. Here, the analysis objects were observed while the teams did tasks. And now I'm going to talk more about our results. The test results are shown on the right side. The mapping of the Belbin roles of the analysis objects from first class initially included 44 participants, divided into 8 teams. The test was performed 1st September 2021. Of these, 24 were girls and 30 boys. During the conduct of the behavior test in the classroom, 46 were present. We thus had two analytical objects that we didn't got any results on due to illness and lack of original role result. And now to the more descriptions about the results. First, I'm going to talk about the gap analysis. That is the first analysis we did. Then to the second analysis, that is the differences between soft and hard bases. The third analysis is about the Belbin role team worker. Our main gap of the 44 analysis objects, 15 of the roles corresponds to the result from the team member test done beforehand. With other words, 29 of roles do not correspond to the results. That gives a deviation of 66%, as you can see here. And more about the gap analysis. Here is an in-depth gap analysis within the roles. There was 12 team workers from the Belbin team inventory. 9 of them were observed. Only 3 people weren't. That means that is only 25% of the observation were incorrect. If we remove the team worker role from the results and analyze, there are only 8 correct roles assumed correct. And those 24 roles were deviations. This corresponds to 75% deviation. Here, 1 complete finisher, 6 implementers, and 1 monitor evaluator. In other words, 1 implementer and 1 monitor evaluator has been observed right when we disregarded the team worker role in believe and be picture. And I'm going to explain you believe and be picture. Because believe picture is what you think you are, with the other words, the result on the Belbin test. Be picture is what you actually are, and the observation we did in the laboratory. The team deviation. Here is the deviation from assumed role in team on hard and soft basis in the laboratory. If the team received less than 50% correct observations of the individuals, they are not counted. It is differences between hard and soft bases. The result shows us that there is less deviations on hard basis, which is red. We think the deviations in the team observations were interesting and decided to look at the deviation among the individuals as well. There is also differences between hard and soft bases here. It is less deviations on hard bases, similar to the team observations. In this result, we can see the amount of data the research team has collected through base managers on hard and soft bases. The result shows us that there is from hard bases that we received most of the data. And there's a lot of information. So here is a small summary and the clearance. There was 44 analysis objects. There is 66% deviation in the role observation from believe picture. 15 of the roles correspond to the result. 9 of 15 roles are team workers. This corresponds to 60% in total. Out of 12 team workers, 9 corresponds to the result. Only 25% do not correspond to the result. If we remove the team worker role, it's 32 analysis objects left. Now it's a total of 8 roles that corresponds to the result. Thus 24 of 32 roles with the deviation. This corresponds to 25% deviations. So now the question is Belbin's team workers role too general? Should this role be divided into 2 due to observation that is done?
And with that question, we did an analysis on the team worker because we had a lot of data in form of observations and comments. And we wanted to see closer on the team worker from the test done in the school and the team workers observed in the field. And we analyzed all the comments from the science team ourselves, of course, and the base managers and the team leaders. And there's a really big extensions of the role. On one side, you have the team worker who is a real team worker, who helps the team, who provides for the team, always listen to everybody. And on the other side, you have this kind of undefined role who, well, kind of backs out of the team, looks at them, let the others do their work. So we wanted to look a little bit closer on the role team worker. And first of all, what do we know? What have we found out about them? Well, we found out that it's pretty easy to observe a team worker. So 9 out of 15 were guessed right, with a total of 60%. And only 3 weren't observed in the field. And I want to remember, only 3 roles in total were observed, and the biggest role of them was the team worker. And looking at the distinctions, you have only 6 positive that is defined by Belbin with the positive traits and allowed weaknesses. But there are 21 undefined distinctions. So we argue that the undefined role that does often lean on others and therefore can be confused with a team worker. And we therefore suggest dividing the team worker role into 2, with a positive and a negative angle. I want to look back on the 3 questions we had on forehand, because when we come to answering these, we found that there is a lot of deviation. Actually, it's 66%. So 66% does not, you do not experience these in practice. And the second question was about if we have defined the role correctly. And well, we have only seen 3 out of 9 roles play out. And we have also observed 1 that isn't even defined. And the third question about if it's still relevant, well, of course it's relevant. Projects still need well-functioning teams, but the question is maybe, do the teams have to have the knowledge and understanding? I mean, the tool loses relevance if the team doesn't. And during this conclusion, we also, during answering these questions, we came up with some new questions. And of course, we wanted to see whether the role team players is misleading. And we ask ourselves if the roles are too similar in between the categories. And we ask ourselves how much effect the Belbin tool have if the team doesn't have the knowledge and understanding how to use it. And the fourth question, which we raise, is the test setting relevant?
Just like Henny said, the results from the laboratory shows that there are large discrepancies between behavioral mapping and human nature. And the pattern is that team members enters different roles than we mapped by the team inventory test. And we are surprised that the relevance of the setting a team member takes a personality test in has not been taken seriously by those who provide these services in a commercial context. This shows that the Belbin test result will not be valid in all situations. And our laboratory shows that there are large discrepancies between today's behavioral mapping and personality tests and the human nature, and we hereby conclude that behavioral and personality tests more reflect who we wish we were, not who we actually are in a team. And then we want to say thank you so much for your time and attention and for letting us present our project. We hope you found it exciting and educational. And we have had a very exciting project period, and we are very proud of the results and humble over the trust that we had in carrying out the project. So on behalf of the team, I want to say thank you. And finally, during the preparations, we did a lot of literature research. So here is what we studied, if that could be of interest for you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. And thanks for participating here. And also many thanks for my team. Let me see. There was a question from the internet. What does team player mean? Isn't everything done in some kind of team? Would you agree on that, or what do you think?
Oh, you're asking for our thoughts?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start, Henny, or?
You can go ahead.
All right. Of course, we look to the team worker that is defined by Belbin, but we, as a team player, we look maybe more to the positive sides of the role, that it is a person that contributes to a team, that helps others, that is what you can categorize as a good team member, someone you want to have on your team.
Or and contributor, would you call it contributor?
Absolutely. Yeah. That contributes positive to the team, whether it is by being supportive or during the different tasks, and that lends a helping hand to the other team members. Mm-hmm. And that's why we suggest to divide the team worker role into, because we saw that many people that has gotten the team worker as a result from the test doesn't always bring something positive into the team. But it can't be defined by any other role.
Have they seen the test before, or the test results?
The team members know their test results, yes, but
not we didn't know, and the second class didn't know either. So it was only the first class that didn't know their role.
Mm-hmm. Okay, their own role, or they also do. And what do you think? Might it be something like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you tell them their role and they try to act according to the role? Yeah. And what is about the external circumstances? Do you think that also the external circumstances? So you put your fellow students under stress, yeah, and I heard you steal pedals and things like that. And so how do they change their roles when stress comes up?
100%.
Yes.
As shown in the results, we have the most data collected in from the hard basis, which shows us that we show our true potential more in very stressful situations. Johanna and the team, we had a discussion on it because we didn't think this was going to happen. We thought that they would forget everything and just go through the tasks. But initially, now we see that they actually play more of their personality traits and their roles. And I think it's the first time that we can actually show a result like this, that every analysis we have done is we putting up the soft bases with the hard bases. And every time we have a better result, or not a better result, but the result shows that on the hard basis, there is more correspondence and more valid data. So yeah, it's amazing, but it's true. I feel a little bit sad for putting it through this stressful situation, but it has shown a good results. And as Stina said, the question is if these personality tests should be done in a different setting to determine the role even better.
Okay, so I really like the setup you have, and I think it's so interesting to put students to go to the woods and let them have their experience there. I think not in Norway, it's not like everybody's born in the woods or has affinity to the woods. So I think. You live more like we do in cities, yeah, and so the woods are strange places, or getting more and more strange places for many people. Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah, and that's the funny thing, because we thought actually that the Green Mission, only just walking through the woods, going to the bases, was a difficult situation for them, but the results from last year and the results from this year shows that. Green Mission resembles more the test situation in the class where you're not outside your comfort zone.
Yes.
And that's why we had to implement the dimension with the hard and the soft base to see, okay, is Green Mission challenging enough, or do we have to challenge them even more? And as Henny said, the results shows that we do need the hard bases for them to really get out of their comfort zones and show their true Belbin roles in practice. And that's also where we identified the second team worker. So we are very happy with the results from that.
I think we should produce it in Germany one day. Yeah, I really think we should do it. Thank you very much. There's another question. So there was another question, but the reality looks more negative. There are many authoritarian personalities in the executive suites in companies. What do you think about that? So in top management, it's mentioned here that there are many authoritarian people, many maybe bullying people on the top management level. Do you think you have found some evidence for that?
Sadly, we did not research because each of the teams had one project leader. And we did not research whether or not there was any specifics for the team leaders if we compared to the team members. So that would be something that could be researched more next year, maybe. Mm-hmm. We have made a list for the coming students so that we know which questions still are not answered. So we will definitely write that onto our list. But I don't know, girls, I didn't see any differences.
I think also because this is one of the first projects, they're laying a little bit low, even if you are a project manager and you want to be, I don't know, we learned that even though you are a project manager, you are a part of the team. So you make yourself a part of a team, not like an authority.
Yeah, but this is, I think, a big difference compared to Germany. And so I've been working for Norwegian companies since very long time ago, since 1990. And I always felt that the Norwegian managers are far more team focused and less authority focused. Yeah, and it's a distribution. Yeah, it's not black and white. Yeah, but I think the Norwegian approaches corporate democracy in Norway, democracy in Norway, and approaches like this make a difference. I think I think culture is a very big player in that game.
You know, we don't think that Ordnung muss sein. So there's a short way from team members to leaders. And I think that's very representative for the work environment in Norway, that there's a little it's little distance between a manager and a coworker.
So lunch meeting in Germany and Norway is totally different. Yeah, in lunch meeting in Norway, everybody sits together. And for example, when my wife goes out for lunch in the corporate restaurant with her boss, then they have a welcome around. Nobody's daring to sit there. And there's quite some difference in the culture. Yeah,
I remember this very, very well from school as well. I went to school there, so there is a difference, and I think we can learn from each other. There is no black or white here. I think.
No, I don't think so. You're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but I think we should learn from other cultures, and this can be very helpful.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thank the German school system for giving me what I need to actually do well in school now, I guess.
Yes.
And taking it more seriously.
Yes. Okay, good. So thanks again. And I think we call it a day. And thank you very much for this very interesting presentation and for the great video. So it was really nice to see that and to watch what you have done there. And I wish you all the best. I wish you nice Christmas days and stay well. Hope that COVID doesn't hit too hard in Norway. Yeah. I think this is the challenge we all have.
Yeah. Thank you, likewise.
Thank you.
Und ein frohes neues Jahr.
Ebenso, Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
Gut, Gunnar finishes.
Okay, ja, das war's mit der Next Economy Open. Das war die letzte Session für dieses Jahr. Wir werden das im nächsten Jahr natürlich wiederholen. Ich glaube, wieder an dem ersten Donnerstag, Freitag des Dezembers. Das hat sich so ein bisschen, sagen wir, als gutes Timing herausgestellt. Ne? Also Lutz sollten wir doch wieder machen. Ne?
Ja.
Also
Ja.
wieder dann den ersten Donnerstag und Freitag im Dezember. Wir werden den Termin natürlich noch kommunizieren. Natürlich auch, ihr seid aufgerufen, als Sessiongeber zu fungieren. Das X muss immer mit Leben gefüllt werden, also mit den Subkonferenzen, die dann ablaufen können, wie jetzt zum Beispiel mit diesem Beispiel in Norwegen mit der Session. Und ja, also man hört, sieht und streamt sich natürlich in diesem Jahr auch ein paar Mal, denn es gibt ja noch einige Sendungen, die ich mache. Am Montag geht es um Logistik und dann geht es um viele andere Themen noch. Und insofern, ja, Lutz, für dich natürlich, ach, wir sehen uns ja auch noch, ne?
Genau.
Alles klar.
So, all the best and thanks again. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much.